Good morning, Talking Tan. Hello, Silver Drama Queen. Hello, T Martin 502. Thank you for that thing yesterday. Very helpful. Waiting on the crow. The crows were waiting for me. When I came outside, they were all very loud. There was a lot of them, more than I've ever seen. And then shortly after I sat down, they all got kind of quiet. So they know I'm here. Alright, they're starting to get active again. They're hearing me. They know I'm here. They know that I know they're here. Yesterday was good. I spent $0. And I caught up on sleep. I caught up on money and I caught up on sleep. So far, I'm spending as much as I make and I'm making as much as I spend. And that's good. That's good. There's no business like crow business. Those lamps were cool. T Martin 502, thank you for the heart me. When I first got here, they've been here for years, so I have fresh eyes. So I was like, we can do stuff with lighting here. One of the first things I did was bought some light bulbs, brighter light bulbs. Then we got 2 new lamps. Putting one of them up was pretty easy, but trying to decide where the other one's going to go is another thing. Taylor, thank you for the likes. When I first came outside, there was more crows than I ever even knew was around here. It was a party. And they all got a little... now they're kind of quiet. Now they're still happening, but I could hear them react to knowing I was out here. My PayPal offers 5% back rewards for some categories. Like you can choose groceries, restaurants, gas, whatever. And I've always chosen restaurants because I was eating out most of the time. But now we're doing the grocery thing and I'm eating here more often. So for the first month I switched it to gas. I'm going to see what happens with gas. Heather has some kind of rewards thing, some code that she puts in and saves 10 cents, 20 cents, even 40 cents a gallon sometimes. So by stacking that on top of my 5% rewards back, we should be saving a significant number on gas compared to everybody else around here. We'll see about that. Did they get any of the nuts yet? Yesterday, I put up a peanut. And when I was on my way in, I noticed one of the crows standing in a spot where it knew I could see it, and it had the peanut in its mouth, in its beak. And then I found the crushed shell sitting right in front of where I would be sitting the next day, later in the afternoon. So I put one up over there, and they'll probably take it. It's not enough to feed this whole family, though. I'm gonna do one at a time for now. Well, okay then, fine. Thank you for the likes. Congratulations. Oh, shit. Great way to start the day. The new show, The Crow and Mr. Mike. Hello, Joy Boy. Thank you for the heart me. Good afternoon. One thing I wanted to do really quick was I wanted to sweep by the door really quick. But there's a lizard. Stock stays static today with some ease from tech earnings. Yeah, tech stocks were slightly up today. I'm not coming in, thank you. I'm just getting some of this stuff in between coffee drinks. Yeah, I have a little bit in TQQQ, and it was a little bit up today, but it wasn't far enough to switch into SQQQ. I wanted to make, I'm looking for like, there's going to be some day where there's like a disproportionate move in either direction, and then I'm going to take the opposite bet. And then just patiently wait for it to equalize. One of the things I'm going to get this week is I'm going to get a broom that's in between. We have like a really big broom and a really small broom, so I want to get one that's in between. The heavy duty broom is like a little too much for handling this stuff. But I really like this little brush here. It's good for like detail work. Hello, Harley. Trish, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for confirming your membership on the team. The wildest and craziest, wackiest chat team I have ever seen. I'm a random business person and I'm just getting my day started. I'm just sweeping in front of the door because all this stuff will get tracked inside. This stuff will get tracked inside. And with this small brush, I'm getting some details that I normally wouldn't get. That's enough of that. Trish, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for confirming your membership on the team. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's go back. Let's go back to the back. Yeah, this stuff drops daily. It's endless. Coming from all these things. But some of the paths where we walk or stand, I like keeping clear because we will track it inside. Beautiful but messy. Hey Trish. How am I? Pretty good. Yesterday I caught up on sleep and money and friendship. Today I want to get caught up on cleaning. I had to slow down the cleaning train to get caught up on health and wealth and friendship. Wayward Sunshines, thank you for the heart me. Being able to keep things clean is a privileged position. Because if you're trying to catch up on all the other stuff, you ain't going to have time for cleaning. It's good to have a peaceful spot in the shade. We are beginning to get into the heat season. It's June already, and it's going to get very, very hot around here. Got plenty of spots to sit in the shade. We're like at the edge of a mountainous region. We're about 1,800 feet above sea level. And I've never spent a meaningful period of time at something this high up. I've spent most of my life really close to sea level. The air pressure and the oxygen level doesn't seem too different. Not much of an adjustment. The crows were really loud when I first came out here. The whole family was out here. They've quieted down a little bit since I've been here, though. SNS Suis, thank you for the heartbeat. And good afternoon. It is already 6:10 on the East Coast. This afternoon is moving right along. Good afternoon. I am a random business person, and I'll be doing business randomly. This doesn't mean I'm aimless or I don't have a plan. It means I'll be proceeding in an unexpected manner into unfamiliar territory with both well-trusted and unfamiliar peoples. It does feel great to be outside. There's 2 cats and 2 dogs in there, so there's a lot of work to do to improve the air quality inside. One of the first things I did was I got a box fan and an air filter, and I taped the filter to the fan. I've done this in other places too. And you start running it, and you kind of think that it's not working, but after a few weeks, that filter will turn brown and it'll be covered with cat hair. And then you look at that and you're like, wow, we were breathing all that in? Can you see a palm tree? All right, let's... Can you see any of those? Box fan air filter is very efficient. It costs less than $40 to make. It's really loud, so I recommend keeping it in a room that you're not in, and then like moving it from room to room throughout the day. This is a very beautiful spot. I'm lucky to be here. Hello, Natty. Good afternoon. Welcome to Crowtown. Jude sleeps with an air purifier next to the head. I almost put on earplugs last night, but I did not. So far, I have not used earplugs since being here. I kind of like knowing what's going on. I don't want to miss a thing. Hello, Nancy. Good afternoon. Miss K, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for keeping on top of your membership records. They are well maintained. And thank you for the shares. Welcome to Crowtown. Good evening. It is already 7:14 in Western Greenland. And it's getting late. The dog is eating all the cat treats. Oh no. Well, okay then, fine. Is folding some laundry. Getting some stuff done. Animal tender I am not. Hello, Jace. I am a random business person. I'll be doing business randomly. We're working in parallel. I'm not trying to pull you into any schemes. Some of you are folding laundry. I'm sitting here. Jace, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for confirming your membership on the team. Yeah, many people, they shoo the crows away or see them as pests. I do not. They're very intelligent animals. Jude just ate breakfast. Very good. I'm still working on my morning coffee. T Martin 502, thank you for being the title gifter at Donuts. There's a new favorite donut place in town. And in response to the donut goal, I'm going to start my breakfast. We got this fresh bakery treat of a donut. We'll get into that. Jace is in outside relax mode. Very good. I'm just getting my day started, and I'm trying not to start in a rush. Halo Snyder, thank you for the heart me. Natsy, I'm not teasing anybody. I'm just showing you the donut. T Martin 502, thank you for your gift of donuts. Oh, you made the goal. Look at this. It's breakfast time. Alright, it is 3:17 on the West Coast, and we're about to enjoy this beautiful bakery donut. This donut was made on the premises. There's a new favorite donut place in town, and I'm happy to be there. It's very good. Hello, Emily. Emily Denise, thank you for this summer 2025. anybody's going grocery shopping today, remember to check the nutrition labels. More expensive isn't always better, but sometimes cheaper is less healthy. Sometimes. Sometimes there's not much of a difference. Like with peanut butter, sometimes you look at the T Martin 502, thank you for the coffee magic. I'm going to have some coffee with the donuts. Thank you. This coffee drink has brownie ice cream. Trish says store brands, they try harder to compete, so sometimes they're just as good or better for a lot less. Yeah, I like looking at the nutrition labels. Sometimes there's not much of a difference, but sometimes there is. Sometimes the cheaper ones will have much more sodium, more added sugars. Sometimes the expensive ones have a little more iron, a little more protein, a little more vitamins. But sometimes there's not much of a difference. And it's like, why should I pay a $5 difference if it's not much of a difference? But sometimes it is. So what I like doing is I like grabbing the cheapest one and the most expensive one. And then I like looking at the nutrition facts. And then I'll start grabbing ones that are in the middle, and then I'll compare them. Barbecue sauce, jellies, bread, juices. I find there's not much of a difference with peanut butter. Like, if you look at the most expensive peanut butters, the ingredients is just peanuts and not much else. And then if you look at the cheap ones, the ingredients is mostly peanuts and a few other things. And if you look at the nutrition facts, there isn't too much of a difference with like sodium, potassium, iron, sugars. Like, there's a difference, but not too much. How do you screw up peanut butter? I mean, it's peanuts and sugar. But a lot of the cheaper peanut butter has extra preservatives and stuff to keep it smooth, you know. Because like the more expensive peanut butters, the oil will separate from the peanut. So you got to continually stir it to make it butterized. I'm okay with cheap peanut butter. But next I want to get walnut butter, almond butter, and then maybe start getting into pistachio butter, maybe. Walnut butter is hard to find. It's not at every grocery store. It's very expensive too, but if you take your time with it, you're looking at like $25 for like 3 months. And walnuts are extremely healthy. Walnuts are like really good. Walnuts are one of those brain foods. Pistachios are really good for digestive health. Really good for rebuilding the lining. Some foods they strip away at the lining, and some foods help rebuild it. So keeping that in balance is good for digestive health. Like if you're into yogurts and stuff like that, if you're into adding good bacteria and good fungal stuff to your system, you do have to eat something that strips that away from time to time. You can't just let that stuff build up forever. Trish, thank you for the tapping. Before I was diagnosed, all I knew was that I had some extreme digestive problem, and I looked at everything. I thought it was parasites. It seemed, but I also didn't know if I had long COVID, because this was during that time that what we called long COVID was still mysterious and emerging. And I didn't believe in 5G syndrome, but my symptoms were like exactly what 5G syndrome was. There was so many different things. I thought it was parasites. I thought it made sense because I kept on eating food, but I wasn't absorbing the nutrients. And so I tried a lot of things. Hello, Skittles. Good afternoon. Yeah, I was pretty sure that I had some, like, 1.5 foot worm inside me or something. It's like, how am I eating all of this good food, but I'm not gaining weight? I'm tired all the time. I kept eating. I kept trying to eat the best foods I could. And I wasn't absorbing the nutrients. I knew something was wrong. I thought it was parasites. But what it was, and it took 1.5 years to figure this out, after many hospitals, urgent care center, doctors, no one would help me. It's just like, it took like 1.5 years before I got an actual scan. And there was a tumor blocking my long intestine, like really close to the end. So that's what was happening. The food was just building up and not being able to really push through. And my tummy just got bigger and bigger. It was hard to sleep. I would sleep on my side, and the weight of everything that was in there would be pulling on me. It was scary. It was 1.5 years of being in pain, and no one would help me. I was pretty sure I was going to die. I started, like, giving stuff back to people that I borrowed things from. I stopped working. I was just running off of savings, and I was trying to record every song I could think of while sick. And I was trying to get my affairs in order to make it easy for everyone I would leave behind, which was hard because I had a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think like the 6 months to 9 months before I got diagnosed, I was just preparing to die, mentally and logistically. I was happy with the life I lived up until then. I had a lot of good stories. I was happy with my career. I was happy with my friendships. I would have had a good story if I died at 38 or 39, whenever that was. It would have been a good story. I felt like I lived a complete life and then some. I lived a better life than most people did. So I was happy. I was satisfied. And that's partly why, talking Tan, thank you for the heart me. That's partly why when my life was saved and I was granted the chance for a new life, I wanted to really, really have a new life, because I had already let go of my attachment to everything I did before that. So that's what mentally made it possible for me to make all new friends and all new relationships through this thing, and let go of everything from the old world. And it took like almost 3 years to be able to move out of there and get somewhere far away. But now I'm far away. I was just saying yesterday, I'm glad that my parents aren't bothering me too much. I was expecting them to text me every day and be like, this thing of yours is in the way. We went in your room and there's ants everywhere. Hey, are you going to come back for Tim's birthday? I was expecting to get a lot of texts like that, but they've been pretty good at respecting my space. Just a few hellos, a few catch-ups here and there. Trish, thank you for the finger heart. My brother's birthday is soon, so I'm going to give him a call. I called my grandpop on his birthday. None of the kids have birthdays until the fall. But, I've never missed a Mother's Day. I've never missed a Thanksgiving. And only twice did I miss my birthday. Your brother's the same name as mine. What's 9 months before the fall? A drunken night in Vegas? I skipped my 30th birthday, and on my 32nd or 33rd birthday I was away. Yeah, last birthday, I did a little bit of family stuff, but I didn't speak on TikTok for like a whole week. I was afraid that if I spoke, I would ruin it for everybody. I had a bit of a negative attitude about some things, so I was trying not to talk. 49, all right. Good year. Happy birthday, Jenny. It's a good number. There's 10 of us here, plus me, an unknown number of people in the preview window. According to personal conversations that I've had with people... Jenny, thank you for the heart me. Skittles, thank you for the heart me. According to personal conversations I've had with many of my friends, I estimate that on a typical session, the number of people in the preview window is approximately equal to the number of people who are overtly in here. Also, if I run a session without music, I'll put it on YouTube afterwards, so it could be viewed by potentially hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the following years. Jenny, thank you for the likes. So even though you and I have our thing going right now, there is an opportunity for me to speak on something that matters, something that is long-lasting. We are making a recording right now. And there's an opportunity right now to speak about something that matters, that can have an impact for people in the future. Hello, young fly. Skittles, thank you for confirming your existing membership in the wildest and craziest, wackiest chat team I've ever seen. Jenny. Thank you for keeping on top of your membership records. They are well maintained. So, I don't let that number affect me because it's not an accurate number. Young Fly, thank you for the likes. Okay, well the number does affect me somewhat, because if the number is continually going up, then I feel like we're doing something right here. And if there's a significant drop, like if like 4 or 5 people leave at the same time, it makes me feel like I shouldn't have said whatever I just said, or I shouldn't have done whatever I just did. If a block of people leave at the same time, I feel like I fucked up. Trish, thank you for the Go Popular vote. Thank you for rocking the vote. Hello, voice bells. Voice bells. That's unlikely, voice bells, that 5 people would have to leave at the same time by coincidence. No, then we're making excuses. I'm willing to accept responsibility for, you know, not delivering a great performance. Like if we were in party mode and we were having a lot of fun with each other, and then out of nowhere I start talking about Donald Trump, and then we get into it, you're going to see a block of people leave at the same time. If we're having fun with each other and things are really moving and we're getting close with each other and we're having a great time, and then I start talking about autism, you're going to see a block of people leave at the same time. If we start talking about money, if we start talking about sex, if we get too deep into health issues, when you're in party mode, there's a few things that you might want to leave out and save for later. Alright, Voice Bells has given me an opportunity to talk about something that matters. So I want to go back to that comment. Care to do a quick heart rampage on why anyone is worthy despite betrayal or rejection? Well, I was just briefly talking about like group rejection, in that like if like a block of people leave at the same time, I don't care about being rejected by one person, because I don't have a scarcity mindset with people. Sometimes it's just not a good match, and sometimes there's other reasons. People don't always, when it comes to individuals, an individual won't always reject you because of you. Sometimes they have their own things. Like earlier this year, I was getting pretty tight with a person and starting to work with them, and everything was great. And then they just kind of shut down. And it wasn't because of me, it was because they had their own things. But if earlier in life, I definitely would have thought that it was because of me, and it would have really hurt. But I wasn't hurt, and I was able to give them the space they needed, and I left them. But there's no pain, and there's no regrets, and there's no resentment or anything. I think about synergy and alignment and harmony, and how easy it is for two people to spend time together or connect or do things together if they're in harmony or alignment. Because I've had so many good results of working with people when the match is right. So it's really easy for me to see now when it's not a good match, and I don't put time into that because I have so much experience with good matches. So if I'm rejected by an individual, it doesn't really matter to me because that's just one person out of like 10 billion. I don't have a scarcity mindset with people. Now, if you put like months or years or a lot of time, if you put a lot of energy and a lot of time into a person and then you're rejected, then that kind of hurts, because it's just like, I wish we could have found out earlier that this wasn't a good match. Why did you let all this time go by trying to get me in only just to push me? Sometimes that hurts because of how much time is spent. I value efficiency. So if my efficiency values are violated, then I experience pain. But there was another person who I was working with earlier this year where we made plans for like late summer, early fall. And I was like, well, is there anything we can do sooner? Because if all this time goes by and the fall comes and it turns out that we don't work well together, that's going to hurt. Is there anything we can do now to find out sooner if this is going to work or not? And then we did, and then figured out that it doesn't work. So that's good though, because in another version of the universe, I would have, all this time would have went by. I would have been looking ahead, looking forward to this thing. There would have been all this build-up just to find out it doesn't work. So that would have been really inefficient. So I'm glad that it worked the way it did. SNS Suith went live for 6 hours and got 414 impressions. That is on the low side. I would recommend looking at that and being able to make a decision within the first 45 minutes on whether or not you're going to stay in a session. And the health of your overall account will affect whatever that number is. Hello, Soup. Thank you for the blue stuff. It's good to see you again. I got this shirt at a thrift store a few days ago. I'm very pleased with it. I already have one in this color at home, but I didn't bring one. Hello, Patrick. Howdy. Howdy aboard. Patrick, thank you for the hat and mustache. We are riding on down the Gold Mountain, past the virtual tumbleweeds into the digital horizon. Voice bells gave me an opportunity to speak about something that matters. Why are we worthy despite betrayal or rejection? Yeah, okay, so worthy to who? I was just saying earlier about, I was talking a little bit about rejection, not only in group settings, but also with individuals. So now let's get on the positive side and talk about worth. It's really easy to sit, Trish, thank you for the Rosa. Thank you for the Rosa, Trish. She said, as SNS Suist made 34 cents over 6 hours. Well, that's good. I like to tell myself, how many times have I spent 6 hours doing something that I enjoyed and made 0? So to me, being able to do what I enjoy for 6 hours and getting 34 cents is a win. I spent so much time sitting in the car, just listening to music and smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and talking to my friends, and I made 0. So to be able to sit in the car today and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes and talk to my friends and make 34 cents, to me, that's a win. Did I get some better sleep? I caught up on Maria B. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for making the friendship. Faith, thank you for the cat. You're awesome. Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for coming. We're at about an hour. I'm going to close this up in a minute. It was really good to see everybody this morning. Faith, thank you for the cat. You're awesome. We got a lot done today. We hung out with some crows. I enjoyed some donut. I got my coffee. Hello, Maria B. Good afternoon. It is 6:46 on the East Coast. And we're hanging out with our random internet friends. I'm at almost an hour. I'm going to leave in a few minutes. Yeah, SNS Suist, I haven't missed a sleep show in a long time. I think I'm on night 19 of running the sleep show in a new location. Almost a week ago, I went to the music store and I bought a mixer and a microphone and a cable, and now I'm back to running the radio style format. Everything seems to be working, so that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to hang out for another few minutes and then I'm going to go get some cleaning and stuff done. Will I be able to take a nap today? I don't know. What time do I normally start the sleep show? I don't know. I want to start it as early as possible because I'm 3 hours behind. Because if I start at 8:45 over here, well, it's already 11:45 in New York City, and I have dozens of friends who are already asleep, so I'm not doing anything for them if I start too late. I would like to start near 6 p.m. my time, which would be 9 p.m. for a few dozen of my friends, but sometimes I don't start until as late as 9:45, which would be 12:45 for my East Coast friends, which is too late. That means we're going to miss a significant number of people where, in their version of reality, I missed the show, even though I'm running for 3 hours after they're asleep. So that's not the way the show is supposed to work. Detroit J, thank you for the likes. So I would like to start as early as possible. Past few days, I've been starting near 8:45, 9 p.m. over here, which is near midnight on the East Coast. I want to say a little bit more about something that doesn't matter and a little bit more about something that does matter. Thank you, Detroit J. I got caught up on sleep and money yesterday. Yesterday, I spent $0. So all of the gifts that you sent yesterday helped me feel like I got back to normal. It is crucial that I cannot be spending more than I'm making. That's true for all of us. But if you're lucky enough to have a little bit of savings, it's okay to run in the red for a little bit so that you can try to build up something, you know? Like if you go buy groceries, that can be hard because you're spending more than you made in a day, but you're setting yourself up for 3 or 4 days, maybe even longer. You know, things like that are good. It's okay to run in the red a little bit to make tomorrow better. But I caught up on sleep. It was good because for the past 3 or 4 days, I kind of felt like a little behind, a little out of it, not totally present. I feel better though. I think I'm caught up on sleep. Last night I went to sleep a lot earlier than I have been. And there wasn't anywhere to be in a rush to go to today. It's almost 4 though. I do want to start moving on to doing some things. Are we still on a journey? Yes. I'm on night 19 of staying in the same place, and it's working. So I'm going to be here for some time. But I'm coming to your house next. Detroit J, thank you for the flower. Brown Eyed Girl 11, thank you for the likes. Detroit J, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for confirming your membership on the team. So before I go, I want to say a little bit more about something that doesn't matter, and I want to say a little more about something that does matter. You should come visit my aunt. You should visit your aunt and stop by. Brown Girl, thank you for the likes. Your aunt lives in LA. Not much happened in the first 45 minutes of this stream. And then I finally had an opportunity to talk about something that matters. But it was too late. There was already too much going on. So that opportunity was missed. In an ideal situation, that comment would have came within the first 2 minutes of me signing on, and I would have been able to get started with that, and this whole thing would have went differently. But maybe next time. We are hanging out after all. That does take precedence. Okay, where are we at? We're at 59 minutes, so I'm going to leave in a moment. I will say something about something that doesn't matter. Yeah, voice bells. I tried to respond to your comment, and every time I tried to, it inspired too much activity. But before you left that comment, there was 45 minutes of like nothing happening. I really could have used that comment 45 minutes earlier, but I got that comment when you were meant to leave it, so that's okay. We're going to try again tomorrow. I have so much to say about that topic, but we only got superficially into it. As soon as I started trying to drop the knowledge, other things happening. No, you weren't late. I was too early. Had I signed on 45 minutes later, that comment would have came at the beginning of the session, and I would have been talking about something that matters while the initial views were flowing through, and that would have made the difference of whether or not this thing would have caught anybody's attention beyond my friends. I've spoken so much, and I've said so much. And these days, I just kind of spend most of the time trying to emotionally regulate myself and rest. I don't come here with topics prepared, and I don't come here with an agenda. So whether I'm speaking about something that matters or not really depends on what's going on in the comments. So I wanted to talk about something deep like that, but TikTok happened. Okay, but I want to say one more thing about something that doesn't matter. What SNS Views was talking about, SNS Suist was talking about the views or something. How far back was that? SNS Suist went live for 6 hours and got only 414 views and made 34 cents. So who are these views is what matters. So here we are, we just did an hour for 80 total views, which is far below average, but we got a lot done and had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of people I care about, and I made $2.67. So the quality of the underlying viewers is what matters. Who these viewers are is what matters. So like, we could have did a session where we had 1,000 people who don't care come through in an hour, but we had 80 people come through and 20 or 30 of them do care. So that's the difference. Who these followers are and who the viewers are. Who is around at what time of day, and do they like your shirt enough to stick around for 5 seconds? We'll see. So, thanks for listening. Alright, I'll be back. Bye, everybody.